Well, you made me weep, and you made me moan. Well, you caused me to leave, child, my happy home. But someday, baby, you ain't worry my life anymore.
Welcome, guys, to the PewterCast. I am Brent Allen, your host, joined by my man right over there, Mr. Ren Daxt. Ren, the InstantCast is here, presented by the PewterCast. Sorry, I got completely lost with Ren. I don't have like all these extra buttons right now that I'm used to having to deal with. You think that would have gone smoother? But hey, listen, we are here. Buccaneers win, Ren, 38-17. Gosh, who could have seen that coming?
You did. You actually came out with the prediction there on the Buck in the News at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a score. You just said like they were going to kill him.
Right. And
they did. They won like what was like 80-10 or something.
It was something. Yeah. It was definitely something. It was. I think it was 86-12. So no, actually, what was the score? It was, I have it written down. It's 38-17. Which wow. Because I got to tell you, right up until about halfway through the fourth quarter or something, the other team was in it, or they'd gotten back.
Yeah. Once again, and I don't want to start off with this, but I think it's definitely like, I brought this up a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, I kind of floated it out there to the Buccaneers beat writers, and I got zero response.
Right.
And then it happened again this week where the Bucs they don't have the type of offense that can keep a lead safe.
Right.
Like let's face it, Detroit had the ball, at midfield, down a score,
Mm-hmm.
down 7 points, and they had the ball, and it was like right at midfield. So,
Right.
but we're burying the lead because it's all about Jameis Winston. He broke an NFL record.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he did. He broke an NFL. Ren, do you remember a year ago? Was it last year? Pretty sure it was a year ago when the big hubbub was Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 3 consecutive games of 400 plus yards.
Yes.
And this year, Jameis Winston has now thrown for 2 consecutive games of 450 yards. First player in NFL history to ever do that. And I got to tell you, Ren, I really, 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 really want to see Jameis throw for 450 yards next week as well.
There's no more exciting player in the NFL right now than Jameis Winston.
That's what I hear. Ren.
No one's been throwing the football better than Jameis Winston since week 9.
Gosh,
Ren, it's frustrating how right I am all the time. I know.
Yes, you're right. It is, but it's one of those things like that is such a bold, fan biased statement, but it might have some legs.
But also, it happens to be true.
It might really have some legs, and that's the thing that I'm like, because I got to tell you, Jameis, he comes out, he throws that first interception, right, and I'm like, dude, you can't do that, and whatever. And I really think, and I think this is at least worth a discussion. BA lets the quarterback script those first 10 to 15 plays. Like those are Jameis's choices, right?
Well, he's in on the decisions.
I'm pretty sure the way that he's, at least in the book, okay, and that's where I'm getting.
Okay.
From the book, BA says that he lets his quarterback pick his 10 to 15 favorite plays, and those are the plays they run at the beginning of the game.
Right.
And if these are the plays that Jameis is picking, and these are the ones he's getting picked off on, and then we get out of those plays and into the rest of them, and we see the rest of the way the games have played, because this is becoming a trend. Go out in the first drive or two, throw an interception, and then just murder it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, somebody put a hex on Visor Jameis. Like he cannot see interior linebackers. Like he can't see them. Like he knows they're there, and then he looks and he goes, "Okay, they're not there." And by the time he winds it up and throws it, because he doesn't have short motion, by the time he winds it up and throw it, they appear out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Appropriate? What's the Harry
Apropos.
Potter? No, the Harry Potter term?
Oh, Accio?
No, when they can jump from spot to spot.
Oh, apparate.
Apparate, yeah.
Apparate, yeah.
So they apparate in the passing lane or the
I don't know
invisible
why you thought I would know that, Ren.
Yeah. You're one of the few people over the age of 35 that I know that would know that.
You got it. Oh, that you know. Okay.
That
Okay.
I know. No, not in the world. No, God, no.
Right.
No.
Right.
Mike Evans isn't over 35, so he doesn't count.
Okay. There you
And I don't know him.
go.
But yeah, I mean, and it's to the point where, I talked about, maybe it was last week, that, Jameis, even though it was very hard, he learned to win despite of the defense. And then
Mhm.
I said, well, now he's learning to win despite of himself.
Right.
And he's just on fire, and he has been. I mean, I saw a lot on Twitter today during the game. It's like, James is on fire. Oh my God, he's been like this since the Atlanta game.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just like the fourth week in the row where he's unstoppable,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and he's making really good decisions. And I also think that he would have ran with the ball more today, but I think he was told, because of his thumb, like, don't take any chances.
Right.
And that worked out into his favor, because now he was running like down the line of scrimmage instead of across it. And he found Perryman a couple of times. He found Godwin once. These are big gains. And like, there's no like 7-yard passes in this offense unless it's 3rd and 6 and Brait's open. Like, like everything's 15 plus yards down the field. And it doesn't matter if you play man, doesn't matter if you play zone. Jameis is going to find the guy. And the offensive line, man, like, he did get out of some sacks today, but when, in that first quarter, when he was on fire, he was kept pretty clean. And, when he's getting this protection that, the great quarterbacks get in the league, the top 5 guys,
Mhm.
uh, and get the U, not the V. The offensive line today played well, I think, in pass protection, mostly because, I've talked about how, the pocket's like this and it's
Mhm.
supposed to be like this, but really the pocket was like this,
Mhm.
like today. And he just made him pay. And he's to the point where I think he's figured it all out. And we're in the golden age of Buccaneers football.
Oh, Ren. Wait, listen. I full confession up front here. Just to let you guys know, we are in that magical part of the year where family and football are now conflicting, like hardcore. So I actually only got to watch like the first half of the game. I haven't seen the whole second half of the game. I didn't see it at all. I got to listen to it. I got to listen to Gene Deckerhoff call it for me, but I didn't get to see it. And like part of the reason, like, I think we're going 15 minutes late, 10 minutes late tonight, is because I just got home and got the kids like in bed and didn't have time to come up and like get everything set up. So with that, for those of you, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat room. If you guys can hear us okay, I know that somebody was saying earlier that Ren was a little bit low. And Ren, I'm just so you know, I'm not sure that with this new setup that we have with Be Live, if that's something I control or if it's actually coming directly from you. So
I'll turn it up a bit. See what
yeah,
I can do.
we'll keep an eye on that. But hello to everybody joining us live at youtube.com/thepewtercast. You guys are awesome. Chat room is filling up. And hey, listen, last week we had a record week here on the InstantCast. Hopefully we get up to that. So we'll keep an eye on that. And you guys have fun over there. Hello to everybody listening to us later, though, on the podcast feed. Still, the vast majority of you guys do that as well. Ren, we're going to try something new out tonight.
Hey, okay. But do you want to talk about an unpopular opinion? But I think it needs to be talked about, or should we save it for later in the week?
Ooh.
It has something to do the way that you watched / listened to the second half of the game.
Okay. For the record, I don't know what Ren's getting ready to say. So I'm going to
not say.
I'm going to let you make that decision, Ren, because you know what it is, and I'll just go with you however you want to do it.
I'll bring it up later. I'm not teasing it. I just don't want to bring the pod down because I think this is a serious discussion, but we're talking about a Tampa Bay icon, and it's time to hang up the cleats.
Okay. All right. We'll get there. For sure. Brent sounds like he's a bit high, kind of staticky, they say. Very interesting. Yeah. Like I said, guys, this is all new.
New software, working it out.
Exactly. That's all it is. So, but hey, listen, we're going to try something new tonight, Ren. we have been using a new system here for, I don't know what, about the last 4 or 5 weeks or so, to do the broadcast, to do the live broadcast. And one of the things that affords us is not only the ability to take phone calls when that time comes, and the time is not right now, but when that time comes, is we can also, for those of you that are joining us live in the chat room, you can actually join in the call. Like, you can get your face popped up on the screen here with Ren and I. So
Yes.
I'm going to drop that link in the chat room when we open up. And if it works the way that I believe it does, and the way
We
that
think it will.
I think it will. We've never actually tested this live, so why not do it right here live during a show? It basically should line you guys up, and like I'll just sort of bring you in one by one. I think is how that works. Go ahead, Ren.
Yeah, you should go in a queue. But if you're listening to this on your phone, you can still do it, but you do have to download the Be Live app.
Okay, great.
Okay, so and you go through there. If you're on your laptop or desktop,
Mhm.
it should route you to the when you click the link, it should route you right to the
That'll go
website.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys do that, it's b.live, just so you guys know. If you want to look for it in your app, if you guys want to join that in. So
And you don't have to, you can still call.
yeah, you can still call. I mean, Alex over in the chat room is like, I'm hideous. Don't do this to me. You can still call, Alex.
You
Like,
can still
it's fine. So we'll definitely see how that goes. So with that, Ren, before we open up the phone lines, because I know once we do, we'll be talking to people from here through. I know we've talked a little bit about the game so far, but 38-17. You watched the whole game. I only got to see the first half.
Right.
Kind of give me some of your immediate thoughts, your immediate reactions to what you saw tonight.
Well, like everyone said, Jameis was on fire. He was,
Right.
he was unstoppable. It didn't matter if Mike Evans was in there or not. You could have argued that this was the best first half the Buccaneers played, including the Jacksonville game where they're up 25-0
Mhm.
without Mike Evans. Rashad Perryman, I don't know if people can see, but I have altered my cup,
Uh-huh.
and it says
Resign Perryman. This is the cut Perryman cup.
cup. Yes,
I about texted you at some point. I think I actually tweeted it out. But
you
about
did.
you said, "Hey, you should like smash this cup on the show tonight."
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No, okay.
Yeah, it's not mine. I'm surprised I haven't get yelled at for defacing it twice.
Hasn't noticed you. That's what it is.
Oh, she's noticed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, Perryman came up big, Scotty Miller, possibly maybe he could still make my preseason prediction of having the highest yards per catch average. I'll have to check what it is, but that long bomb, and then pulling his hammy, that helped me.
Mhm.
And then Justin Watson showed up, and then they sprinkled in a little of OJ Howard and Cameron Brant when they needed to.
Right.
But it's something we've been saying for a few weeks now, is just that this offense can score. They're going to score 30, and it doesn't matter how many interceptions Jameis Winston throws. It doesn't matter how bad or good the offensive line protection is. It doesn't matter how many yards they get on the ground, which they don't get any, by the way.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. They're going to score 30. And it's nice to see this defense sort of step out and help out the offense.
Mhm.
Completely shut them down in the first half. It was really great to see, when Jameis threw the interception, didn't let him get a first down, made him punt. And then when the game was starting to get a little, like they're going to climb back in this, like they're
Mhm.
like, here they come. SMB, picked it off and went all the way down the field.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was that. I was driving when that happened, and like I'm driving. The kids are in the back watching, I don't know, something Christmassy or whatever, and like my wife's got her own headphones in because she was mad at me that I had my headphones in, and I just like in the middle of the car, I'm like, yes, go, motherfucker, go, and like right there in the middle of the car, and then I got punched because I said a bad word in front of my kids, and I apologize to anybody who might be listening to this with your kids. I just know that I did it too. So, hey, listen, whatever.
twice now.
Twice. Yeah. So, hey, whatever. Yeah, Ren. I mean, you wrapped it up basically the way it was. Is I sat back and there were times, especially during the third quarter, in the first part of the fourth quarter, I was like, these guys are going to mess around and let these guys come back and win, or let these guys come back and get in it. That was my big thing.
Because we don't have the offense. The way we play offense
Mm-hmm.
is throw the ball down the field in big chunks
Mm-hmm.
and score points, right?
Right.
Well, when you're up, 11 plus, 14 plus, 13 plus, it's time to run the ball a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Shrink the amount of possessions the other team gets by stretching the clock, pulling some time off the clock, grinding it out, if you will. And of the 3 games where we've had those type of leads, one we lost. The Jaguars got within a touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
and I think no, the Lions didn't get within a touchdown. They were going in to get it within a touchdown, I think. I don't think they were down. I don't think they were they only down by 7 at one point? I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
was
but it
24 to
was
17. I mean, they were
like
within one score.
okay, and they had the ball and they were going in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're about to tie it up.
Right.
So we have these huge leads, 18-25. This one was it 24 or the most was 18, I guess. We were up 21-3.
Mhm.
And the offense sort of disappears as far as scoring in the third quarter, most of the fourth quarter, because they're
Mhm.
trying to run the clock out and they can't
Right.
because they're not built that way. And it's like, well, you got offensive line and running back, yeah, but that's not where the offense is successful. So, where I said against the Jaguars, or the Colts, where it was, third and short, fourth and short, and Byron Leftwich now has realized that they're not good at running the ball right up the gut. They're
Mhm.
calling screens out to Godwin, Dare circling out on fourth and like they're running these short passes because they're more successful.
Right.
But he didn't do that today. Um, and like I said, the Lions almost got back into it. But you see the final score, and it was great. And I'm not poo-pooing. I'm
Mhm.
just saying, there's only 2 games left. We're not in the playoffs, so really, what the hell am I talking about?
Right.
But is a BA style of offense called by Byron Leftwich? Do we have the guys to, if we're gonna do this next year,
Mhm.
beat people, by 2 touchdowns at halftime, can we sit on that lead or at least grind out field goals? It's 7,
Right.
8-minute drives. They almost did. Gay missed it. Like they had like a
Mhm.
6-minute drive and Gay banged one off the upright
Mhm.
from 54 yards out. And then James, of course, hit Perryman late, and
Mhm.
that was great. That was really nice to see. I like that aggressiveness.
I do. Yeah, I really do. And I mean, you talk about Perriman. I mean, you have on the bottom of your cup there, re-signed Perriman. I mean, God, like the way he's come on in these last couple of weeks, missing Mike, we all thought was going to be a huge thing. I don't want to say that it wasn't. It was. Other guys just stepped up, but we also had Scotty go back out with a hammy.
Hammy.
Had Chris Godwin go out with a hammy, and BA said after things said it doesn't look good with Chris
Yeah.
Godwin. He could be
Yeah.
shut down for the year. Scotty's probably going to be shut down for the year, at least a week, and we only got 2 left.
Yeah.
So
What does it matter though? I mean,
yeah.
I and this is a small sample size, but since week 9, we'll say,
Mhm.
maybe even before that, if you kind of want to do some digging, it's always been sort of like Jameis Winston. Yeah, he's got Mike Evans,
Mhm.
and he didn't do it with Deshaun Jackson, and it took him a while to get it with some other receivers. Now Chris Godwin's, oh, he's got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. At
Mhm.
one point, you got to start going, but who's throwing him the ball?
Right.
Because
Well,
you got
right.
Brashad Perriman, who's on his 3 best games in his NFL career,
Mhm.
and he's playing like a Pro Bowler now. Well, who's throwing him the ball?
Right. Right.
It's
You could
you
almost
got
you could almost say that Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rashad Perriman have Jameis Winston.
that's what I'm saying. Like
I
Jameis
think
is Jameis to the point
yeah.
where uh he makes the receivers around him better.
That's a fair question, and I think this year gives us enough pause to begin to ask that question. Watching what he does next year, because he will be back with this team one way or the other next year. Just
Yeah.
that's the way. Not talking about contract stuff. I'm not debating it. He's just going to be back with this team. Watching what he does next year is going to be the proof in the pudding for that, and that's going to tell us if this is more than just a stretch of good Jameis.
Yeah, and something I've been thinking about, and
Mhm.
we'll just get this out of here and we'll let some people call in and
Yeah.
tell us what they think. Uh it's all about how Jameis comes back, because we've seen Jameis at the end of the year sort of turn into like great Jameis. Oh, he's finally turned the corner. Oh, he's finally quit doing it. Oh, he's finally, quit fumbling the ball. And then it seems like when he comes back next year, and it's not in training camp, it's not in OTAs, but as the season starts, there's like one or two things that he has to relearn. You know, it takes a few games to go, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta quit throwing that type of ball, or oh yeah, that's right. So with BA and Byron and Todd Christensen, getting him hopefully on some kind of program, because you know how hard he works in the off season, that he doesn't sort of regress coming back into the beginning of next season, because I think that's a pattern that we've seen. Bad Jameis improve to, like, we'll say 60, then he comes back at like 42 next year. Then he goes up to like 75, but he comes back at like 60, 61 the year after that. Then he improves. So I'm looking for Jameis to come back, relatively close to what he is this year, and then I think we'll really have something here.
Yeah, that should be great. I dipped out on you for just a second, so I didn't hear the entirety of what you said.
It was brilliant.
But I know it was brilliant. Yeah, I know you, and it was fantastic. So, hey, listen, Ren, you said it. Why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines in the chat room, guys. I just dropped in the link. If you guys want to join us, click on that link. If you're on your phone, you have to download the app. If you're on a computer, you can use your webcam and microphone and stuff. And we'll see how this works. This is completely and totally experiment. If you guys do it, if you're not, the phone line is open. And look at this. People are already calling in. So let's get this going over here. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we have here tonight? Hello?
Hey, Snap, you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, guy. It's good.
Good.
Who is this?
Chef.
Oh, hey, Chef.
Chef Aaron 26.
Hey, Chef. Sorry, I missed you on that. Hey, what's on your mind tonight, buddy?
Well, I think that may be even more of a complete team win than the prior ones were. I mean, obviously, Jameis balled out, probably had the best statistical performance of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see the defense is becoming more and more of a playmaking defense than we've had in the last 3 years.
Yeah, there was a lot of PBUs there, and Coach Arians talked about in the presser, they finally threw to someone that could catch. Carlton Davis just is not interested. Well, he'll say he will, but he's not interested in picking up the ball. He's just interested in knocking it down. Jamel Dean had one hit him right in the shoulder pads, almost dead center in the chest. He dropped it. But there's a lot of PBUs, and then Sean Murphy Bunting, used his hands and let it get into his body and got his and went for the house. So, yeah, it looked like Sue had a little extra spice in the tank today, playing against his old team. And Shaq Barrett got his sack, so he only needs a half one or an eighth or a 16th or a 32nd of a sack to take the franchise lead. And yeah, they shut him down in the first half, and then when the Lions went to this quick style offense, kind of put them back on their heels a little bit, but ultimately, they pressured that kid into making more mistakes.
Yeah, how about the two? I have two players that I would like to give a big shout out to. One, obviously, being Ryan Jensen, who I'm sure you guys have already seen now. He just lit a fire under everybody's ass on that one drive. It seemed like he was clearly telling the coaches, "F you, I'm staying in this game whether you want it or not." And obviously, Dominican Sue, I'm tired of the smear campaign a certain somebody has out there for him. And Dominican Sue is making everybody around him better, whether he wants to admit it or not.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I'm not as down on Dominican Sue as some other people that have a shred of credibility out there as Buccaneers people on Twitter, and then of course the leader of the head, I don't know his name, I'm sorry about that, the head of the pewter plank, those guys have been down on Sue a little bit. I'm not with them, but also, like, I have no interest in getting debate about it. I just don't, because I think the things that Sue brings are things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. Do I think Sue's doing a little more than he probably is? Yeah. But if that's true, then I think those people that are calling Sue a thief and he, he's not doing this and not doing that. I think they're judging Sue a little too harshly as well. So, it's all due about nothing. Quite frankly, I don't care. I'm not gonna change anybody's mind on it. No one's gonna change my mind on it. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, that's what you believe. That's cool. We've won 4 in a row, and we're gonna go 9-7 and go 7-1 in the second half because we're entering the golden age of Buccaneers football.
I like it. Ren, you got anything else for us, buddy? Or not Ren, Chef, you got anything else for us before I let you go, buddy?
Yeah, I just have to say that I think Godwin may be probably legitimizing himself as a true number one threat. Unfortunately, he went down today, but hopefully that hamstring doesn't bother him going forward.
Yeah, I think he just might be out for the rest of the year. But we'll get him back first part of next year, and I don't think there's going to be any drop off between this year and next. It wouldn't surprise me if they get him, an extension going this year because he's just been that great. So, but anyway, Chef, man, thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We're going to let some other people get in here. Okay.
All right, have a good night, guys.
All right, thanks, Chef.
Good talk, Chef.
Listen, Ren, hey, we got our first person joining us on the video chat. So let me see if I can't bring this guy in.
I want to see this.
Yeah, we'll see if this actually works.
Ooh, he looks a lot like me.
Coming in here, yeah. We got here. I believe this is Prime. Prime, is that you joining us here, buddy? Uh-oh. Where I can't hear you.
Hey,
man.
can y'all?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I think it just transferred
Awesome.
to your microphone there. Yeah, you sound great, buddy. How's it going, man? It's good to see your
man,
face.
awesome.
Good to see your face.
But a face with a name.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Talk to us,
Hey,
Prime.
this
What's
is,
your thinking?
First of all, man, this Be Live deal, this is actually pretty cool. So yeah, keep this. I like it.
Cool, man.
Hey, now to the game. You did say it's PG-13, so I get 1. I get 1. Okay.
I may have used it earlier, but go ahead, Prime.
Nah, man, listen. This game was fucking phenomenal. Okay.
All right.
It was absolutely phenomenal. So a couple thoughts coming out of it. One, more and more, I've become absolutely positively convinced that one, we should sign Winston long term, and not just because of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because one of the things that Ren says, he's going to put up 30 points. I don't care what the situation of the game is. We can pretty much bank on 30 points. Okay, you're going to get 30. The what is the point of the offense? Point of offense is to score points. The kid can score points. Is he going to throw an interception? I can bank on it. I would bet money he's going to throw at least 1. Okay, but if he's going to put up 30, only thing I need is a defense that can hold him to 22. Which it's not asking a lot. It's just a middle of the road defense, and we have a playoff team, dead serious. So I am 100% on, man, let's go forward with Winston, and we just need to improve that defense, man, and get a freaking run game so that, as one of the things that Ren says is, when we have these leads, if you're up 32 or 33-17, you can actually grind that game out because we really can. We cannot. When we have that lead, Winston being Winston, he's still going for it, right? He's going for the bomb. He's going for everything. Yes, we need Perriman back. I love it. I give credit to Arians because I was right with a lot of fans mid-year who were saying, get rid of Perriman and let's take the compensatory pick. Right? Because Perriman, I don't remember which game it was. One of the games we lost, I remember him missing a game-winning touchdown pass right between his hands. And I was so pissed off with that. So credit to Arians for believing that, hey, he could be this, Credit to the offensive line. Because without Donovan Smith, and we were missing somebody. Were we missing someone else?
Not on the
offensive just Smith?
line, but yeah, it was just
okay.
Yeah.
Without Donovan Smith, for the most part, they kept Jameis clean.
Yeah.
So credit to them, man. They could not open up any holes in the run game. But we at least kept Jameis clean. And this defense, after Whitehead went out, it seemed like they completely lost composure in the secondary. But I, they SMB came up with the pick six at the right time, and I'd like to know y'all's thoughts on this. It's I thought it last week. I didn't call in, but I think that the team is taking on the parts of the personality of Jameis. In particular, this Jameis will throw a pick six, forget about it immediately, and move on. He didn't used to be able to do that, but he can now. And it seems like the team now doesn't fall apart if things seem like they're going left on you. Things aren't going your way. They don't fall apart. It's just kind of like, sure, yeah. We had a pick, or yep, they just we blew coverage and they had a bomb on us. Fine, cool. I'll get the pick next time.
Yeah, well,
they move
actually,
forward.
Prime, if I can add to that, what it actually seems like is if Jameis throws a pick, and we know he's going to throw one a game, right? Like, I mean, that's just it's about the way it goes, right? At least one, maybe two, but it's okay because the defense seems like they're going to go out and be like, no problem, guys, we're going to stop it. We'll get you the ball back.
Yep.
Like they look at Jameis and go, I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Like that wasn't something that they were doing beforehand. And I don't know if this is because they're finally starting to believe it. I don't know if this is because BA has finally gotten into him, if it's Todd Bowles, and this is the difference between BA and Todd Bowles versus Cutter and Mike Smith.
Part of it.
That's definitely got to be a part of it. Or if it's because of what you said and they're taking on the role of Jameis, or maybe it's all of it, mixed in together and they're just believing it. And they just know what they can do and go out and do it. And I got a question for you, Prime. You said earlier, we got to get a defense. Man, the last 7 weeks we've gone, what's it now? 5-1.
Yeah.
Don't you think we got it? Man. I mean, it feels like we got it maybe, right?
You know what? Yeah. Actually, as I'm thinking about it, do I feel comfortable with the secondary going into next season? I do. I feel comfortable with the secondary going into next season. And ironically, I guess I look at this secondary, ironically, in a similar way to I look at Winston, which is they will probably give up a bomb. It's going to happen. But more and more, I believe that Devin White will cause a fumble. Levante David will cause a fumble. Shaq Barrett will get a strip sack, or one of the secondary is going to get a pick. That they're going to gamble some and get burned for it, but they're also going to make some plays. So maybe, like when you said maybe it's a little bit of everything, maybe they're taking on the leadership, the whole no risk and no biscuit, whatever, and actually taking chances to make plays. But like Jameis has been this person the entire time, but he seems far more confident now when he throws a pick that he's not actually worried about it anymore. And lastly, I wonder what y'all think about this. In that same vein, Bruce Arians said earlier this year, during the losing streak, that he had never been a believer in sports psychology. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, he said, I've never been a believer in sports psychology until he got to this team, and could not figure out what the hell is wrong when there's this much talent, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I also wonder if some of what we're seeing is whatever changes he made around that time, if we're seeing the fruit of that.
Yeah, I think so. And you've heard BA say this a few times. It just took longer than I thought. He said it about, when he talked about Perryman, and we've talked about this defense. And, I'm with you, Prime. It's to the point now where I'm expecting a big play out of the defense sometime during the game.
Yep.
Like they're going to get to the quarterback and he's probably going to fumble it. Or like you said, Levante David or Devin White's going to pop the ball loose. Or one of these guys, are going to get their hands on it. Because, last time I checked, and that was only a couple of days ago, Carlton Davis leads the league in pass breakups in PBU.
Yep.
Leads the league. I know he got another 2 today that I can remember off the top of my head. And PBUs are a little suspect. Like, I'll think one guy, hey, he got one today. And then I look at the paper and he's like, he had 4 pass breakups. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, that's where he keeps score. That's fine. But yeah, so, these guys are starting to learn, and I was right along with it. And I learned this a couple of years ago and I forgot about it. But, we were also ready to put the fans are so ready to put stock in BA and Todd Bowles and not necessarily Brian Leftwich, but BA's philosophy and all the players that whoa, we got all these individual pieces on defense, we have all these individual pieces on offense, but it took a while. It's just like you're saying, like the things that BA said early on, we thought they were going to happen week 1 or week 3 or week 4, but it took till week 9, week 10. OJ Howard took till week 11. And I presented this question to Mark Cook, and I know you heard it because you listen to every podcast. BA was like, made that flipping comment about the secondary's fix. Well, you know what? It is.
With the players he picked.
Yeah, with his guys.
Listen, I tweeted it out, and Dean, or Prime, I'm gonna let you go with this, but I tweeted it out. There is no reason that Jamel Dean shouldn't be on this team unless the offense is on the field, or shouldn't be on the field. He just needs to be out every time.
Facts, that is well said.
Every time.
And hey, lastly, man, you guys, you have, I believe, the best Bucks podcast that there is out there.
Thanks, man.
There's a few good ones.
Yeah.
So appreciate you guys. Appreciate what you do. As far as in getting these 2, 3, 4 shows out a week to us, we really appreciate it, man. And as always, go Bucks.
Thanks, Prime. Thanks, Prime.
Thanks, Prime.
Bucks, man. Hey, that's fun. That's fun getting to talk to people that way.
That makes 3 of us.
There you go. Hey, maybe we'll win our own Pewdie this year, Ren. Hey, let's go to the phone lines. We got somebody calling in here. You are on the line with Brent and Ren. Turn us down in the background and let us know who we got here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yo, my name's Big Fudge. How you guys doing? First time caller.
Big Fudge. Welcome to the Pewtercast, man.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from a city you probably never heard of, Winter Haven, Florida, Polk County.
Once or twice. I think I drove there. Yeah.
I know where Winter Haven is.
Most of us drive through. My car just broke down, so I've been here for like 20 years.
There you go.
It happens.
There you go. There you go. I'm convinced that's the way it is in because I live in Jacksonville. Nobody goes to Jacksonville. You just drive through it on your way to Disney World. It's pretty much how it works. So we get all the benefits of living in Florida without all the tourists. So what's on your night tonight, Big Fudge? Man, I'm going to have fun saying your name. What's up, Big Fudge?
Nothing. Everybody has fun saying my name, but I want to call in because the first half of the year, I didn't know what to think, but now, dare I say, Rashad Perriman now has hands.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that? He missed, if I'm not mistaken, a game-sealing touchdown in the Giants game. It went right through his hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now these last couple games, he's coming on strong.
Yeah.
Especially with Mikey E out, and now Chris Godwin's down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if the Bucs lose the next 2 games, as sad as that would be, if Rashad Perriman keeps up this, I'll be actually satisfied with that.
Yeah, and I think I know what Ern's going to say, so I'm going to jump in. I remember talking to some Browns fans before the season started, after we signed Perriman, to say, tell me what you know about this guy. And what they all said was, look, he had some hands issues when he was in Baltimore. I think it was Baltimore. Had some hands issues when he was in Baltimore. He came to us. He's only been here for a year, but it seems like he's gotten it out of his system, and he's actually really good. You're probably going to be pretty satisfied with him. And then he got here, and it was like, oh, I guess the hands issue is back with, that whole Baltimore thing. But, it definitely seems like, come on. But Ren will tell you.
In training camp, Brett was right on with that. Yeah, in training camp, I went to every training camp just about possible. I think I missed 1 or 2. And Jameis and Perriman, they were, like you've heard BA talk about it. Like, I see it in practice. I saw it in training camp. Like, they had the deep ball connection. Now, when the season started, now you're going, live bullets, and the offensive line is a little shaky, or they're up and down and inconsistent, and they're only sort of using Rashad on these deep shots. And I know people like to point to that Panthers game where, even though we won the game, the one that threw his hands, that was a real tough catch. It was. And then, he didn't know where his body was. One time he caught one and he stepped out of bounds before, he got his feet in, obviously. Then there was one where he caught it and he fell out of bounds before he was in. And everyone was really down on Perriman because, it was 19% was his targets to catch ratio with less than 50 yards. And we're 8 games in, everyone's going, what the hell? Like, why, what's going on? But once again, the coaches know more than we do. They see more than we do, and they stuck with it, just like they stuck with this young secondary. just like they stuck with Devin White, just like they've stuck with O.J. Howard, just like they stuck with Ronald Jones. And these guys are starting to show them why and be able to be the first to tell you. I don't know why it took so long. I can't tell you why it took so long. It just has. But man, Byron Leftwich has got this offense freaking humming. I mean, I know we've played some crappy teams, but Detroit last week only gave up 17 points to Minnesota, and Detroit didn't score any. That means Minnesota had the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They never got close enough to kick a field goal. That means Minnesota got the ball all the time, and they only gave up 17 points. The Colts had a good defense. They only gave up 24 points once. That was the most they gave up all year long. They play us, we put up 35. We have a playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber offense, and the defense is now starting to get there. They're really young.
Defense is coming up.
Yeah, the starting 5 in the backfield do not have a combined no player has 2 years under their belt. There's guys back there in their second year.
It wouldn't hurt to have a vet. It wouldn't hurt to have a veteran back there at some point, but not a big dollar veteran.
You're talking about the starters though. Darian Stewart's got a lot more than 2 years.
I'm talking about the starters.
Starters.
Yeah, the guys they count on, the guys that play.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
None of them have 32 games under their belt. None of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all starting to come together. Now it's a week-to-week league. Watson could come in and make them look like chopped liver, and we're all pulling our hair out and go, oh well, Ren, what an idiot. He just said the defense is fixed, dummy. And I fully expect to get that if that's what happens. No, not you, but hey, here's a funny little story that I almost tweeted this out. I've been getting a lot of followers. When I'm active, obviously, I start to get a couple more. So I've got somewhere between 20 and 50 in the past month or so. But I've realized the hard part is once these people start to follow me, I have to prove to them I'm not an idiot. Everything I say, they sort of oh, but what about this? What about that? So I'm having these sort of inane conversations on Twitter that people that have followed me or follow the show for a long time get the way I talk and my sense of humor. And I don't know why I brought that up. Oh yeah, because if Deshaun Watson carves us up, I'm going to get some crap, and we're all going to think the sky is falling, and we should just lose the last game for better draft position.
Never give up, and that's what BA and his staff is drilling into their head. They're giving them a winning culture not to give up.
Yeah, I'm with you. The wins mean more than 4 or 5 places in the draft at this point of the year, and for the culture of the team.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Big Fudge. You got anything else for us before I let you go and we'll clear the line and get somebody else in here?
One more thing I want to say.
Yeah, buddy.
The culture change, and they're beating teams that they should beat. The running game is a little rough. I don't know if we just need somebody else on offensive line, but yeah, something's got to change with the running game.
Yeah, I think that's the question. What is it? Is Rojo really the guy?
Yeah.
Not Peyton Barber. We can say that. Is it really just the offensive line? I think the offensive line actually has been a lot better this year than what most people give them credit for. Definitely in pass protection. Maybe run protection's a little something, but I think there's a lot of questions to ask about that run defense, because it definitely even goes back to what Ren and Prime, our last caller, was talking about of, when we get to that spot where we got to run out the ball or run out the clock, that's where it happens.
We can't do it.
Yeah. So we got to figure that out. We definitely got to get that figured out. So, all right, Big Fudge, man, thank you so much for calling in. We always love getting to talk to first-time guests. And please, man, call us back in the future. We'll do this the next couple of weeks. We'll have a couple of these shows through the off season, and certainly we'll be back next year. All right, man?
Perfect. You will hear from me again.
I love it. Thanks, Big Fudge.
Thanks, Fudge.
I like it when they stack on top of each other. You know that? Let's see here. All right, we got a new guy here.
The callers.
Do what? No, I like them. I like them when they all stack on top of each other. With that, but hey, listen, you can call us, as so many people try and are. You can also join us in the video chat. Those links are in the chat room if you guys want to do that. But right now, we got somebody on the line. Who do we have here?
Hey guys, this is Jacksonville. Alex calling in here.
Alex from Jacksonville, my My neighbor, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, man, not too much, man. Hey, I gotta give a shout out, Prime. You look good on the new video thing, man. I like that what you guys got going on.
He did, didn't he?
As soon as I get that link to work, I'm gonna be on there too. So
yeah, man, yeah, get it going. We'll get that in. I like having the dual side. You know, if enough people start doing the video, we'll just cut the phone out altogether.
Yeah,
make sure we see everybody's
yeah,
face.
give me a week or two to get the webcam going, and then I'll be on there with you guys.
There
Caught me off guard a little.
Yeah, well, we're trying it out tonight. So anyway, Alex, what's on your mind tonight, man? Buccaneers win 38-17.
Yeah, it was good. It's what you guys thought. I think it's what we all, saw coming. So nothing really surprising there. I think it's what we should have been doing all season. Just quick thing is, man, we really got killed by that schedule this year. But I won't bring too much in that. I actually have something I wanted to bring out. It's a little in outfield here, but it's something I've been thinking about Byron Leftwich, man. He's been killing it and he's been looking good. And I hear some rumblings just about, eventually, if it's not after a good season next season, about this guy getting a shot at his own head coaching thing. I mean, what do you guys think holds in his future, whether it be this off season or just, in the next couple of years in general? Because I think he's here next season, but I wanted to hear what you guys thought about that.
I think that, looking into my crystal ball, that Byron Leftwich will be the next coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played for the Bucs.
No. I just want to clarify because sometimes you can be a little bit of a smart aleck. Are you saying this for real, or are you?
No, for real.
You really think he could be the next coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played for the team. He's got Tampa ties. He played in Jacksonville. He's got Florida ties. And it's, if this keeps going, now there's going to be some games or maybe some years with injuries, and maybe next year they won't beat their scoring record again, or the offense won't look as sharp as it does. But remember, at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of clunky games. Remember, I used to say that all the time. That was a clunky game. That was a clunky game. But since we've got off that road schedule, it's smooth sailing. The water's glass, man. And if it projects that way, I can definitely see Brian Leftwich, stepping in, staying with Jameis, staying as a play caller, and stepping into BA's role, because even if BA leaves, as a fan base, like, I still want to keep the coaching tree together. It's still the same system. It's still continuity.
Being groomed for that, though? You think that Bruce is grooming him for that role, or what do you think about that?
Yes.
Well, I mean, but yes, I definitely think Bruce wants, he wants all his coaches to become head coaches one day. The thing that I would question is who is the sort of heir apparent on this staff? Is it really Byron Leftwich, or is it a Todd Bowles? Is it giving him another shot to jump back up? We know Harold Goodwin is the assistant head coach or something, like that's part of his job title. I don't know that he would necessarily be the guy. But really this, I mean, and Ren, like, this is a question back to you, because you like it when I ask you questions.
I do.
Do you think it's Byron Leftwich over Todd Bowles?
First off, I don't think Todd Bowles is sort of cut out to be a head coach. Not that he can do it, but on it, he's just too boring. And I mean this, and like the media is not going to like him as a head coach. So, as far as the
coaches, because the media likes him, though.
I understand that, but sticking around through hard times does.
Okay.
Like, your leash with the media, the public opinion becomes much shorter when you're not affable, when you're boring, when you don't answer the questions. Like, your leash becomes shorter with the fans and the media. It just does. Now, but someone like, and I'm not even sure he wants it, and he might go somewhere else to be the head coach. But I definitely think, like, keeping Byron with Jameis, right now, a million things can happen. But if I'm the GM or I'm one of the owners, like, I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it be great that BA coaches for 3 years? This offense stays, in the realm of the same trajectory, same points scored. Jameis still being Jameis, the receivers still being the receivers. Hey, had a run game, that'd be great. But they're sort of still on the same line. that they're doing, no huge dip and then back. It's, just keep it nice and steady Eddie somewhere in a acceptable range. 3 years from now, who wouldn't want Byron Leftwich as the next head coach?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go here though. What if we let's say kill it for the Bucs? I think next year is anything in the talk of the playoffs, right? Let's say we kill it next year and we're riding the back of the offense to do so. I think Byron is going to get a shot somewhere else. And do you think he takes that, or do you think he stays at that point? I mean, what do you think happens?
Well, I don't know, and I don't even know if Byron Leftwich knows. It all depends on what kind of person he is. Is he a Willie Taggart that just goes, "Hey, you offered me the job. I'm not ready, but you offered me the job. I'm going to take it." Willie Taggart went from like Eastern Kentucky to Florida State in like 4 years, Or was he a Gary Kubiak, who was like the offensive coordinator for Denver and kept turning down head coaching jobs, kept turning down head catching jobs, kept turning him down until he finally got a place that he liked, went to the Texans, was doing really well, but his health gave out. Remember, like he had a heart attack walking into halftime on live TV. So it depends on what kind of person he is. Is he somewhere in between? I mean, I don't know. Me personally, as an owner, of course, I don't own an NFL team. Only like if Byron Leftwich has a great run this year, and you say the Bucs make the playoff next year. So now Byron Leftwich has been a play caller for about 40 games in the NFL. Am I going to make that guy my head coach? I don't know. Am I going to get him an interview? Yeah, I am. But just concentrating on your quarterback and the offense is way different than everything else on your plate. And some guys just aren't good at it, and some people aren't ready for it. We saw it with Cutter. Cutter's not a head coach. He's a really good offensive play caller, but he ain't a head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I know he's got the talent around him, but it's something to think about, man, because he's having a good season. He's going, and I know the trend is going towards younger guys here in the head coaching, and I hear rumblings about it, and it just makes you think, what could happen, what could crazy stuff happen in the NFL.
Well, it's at least a year away. Just, enjoy the win. And if we go to the playoffs next year and he gets some rumblings, enjoy the playoff run.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this. I don't think we're going to see Byron Leftwich get a head coaching offer this offseason. I don't think that's even in the realm of possibility, to be honest with you.
Not.
He's had, remember when every week was Byron Leftwich is a horrible play caller, Byron Leftwich is a horrible play caller, remember that was like the thing for like the first 9 weeks, here around this team. A half season's great, but I don't see that this year. If we go out and do something next year, maybe that'll be a case for it, but we'll see. So hey, I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna open up this phone line, okay?
Cool, guys. Yeah. See you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Good talking to you, and go Bucs.
Yeah, let's do it. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Hey, listen, phone line's open. You guys want to call in 864-729-BUCS. It's 864-729-2827. Or we got the link there in the chat room. You guys can join us live on the video feed like Prime did, which is super cool. So you guys can check that out as well. But we've got a phone line coming in here. So let me go ahead and get this pulled up. Oh, my gosh. I got multiple coming in at the same time. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the Instant Cast. Who do we have here tonight?
Hey, guys, it's Corey from Ontario, Canada.
What's going on, Corey?
Not too much. Been trying to call in the whole time here.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, man. Listen, we only have one phone line, and it just always we're working on it, trying to get it.
Corey, when you're the most popular podcast in the whole entire world, you're just gonna have to wait your turn. I'm sorry.
Right, there we go. Hey, Corey, you know what? You officially make this an international podcast today. So definitely,
thank you, Corey.
That. Corey, is this your first time calling in?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, is this your first time calling in?
Yeah, it is. I'll do my story real quick.
Great.
2002, I was 4 years old, so I was very young.
Okay.
Favorite color was red, like the Bucs. That was kind of how it was.
I like it.
I watched that playoff run and saw the Super Bowl and stuff. So.
There you go.
Listen, that's as good a reason as any, brother. I like it. I like it.
I was actually at the game today, so.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
How far of a drive is that for you down to
across
Detroit?
the border to Detroit.
How far is that for you?
About your trip to Jacksonville's distance, about 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, totally doable. Totally doable. All right, not Alex, Corey. Corey, what's on your mind? Coming off this game tonight, buddy.
I want to talk about the secondary because I played corner in high school, so
okay.
I know and one main point I've never heard anyone discuss is everyone talks about like the secondary is lacking experience, right? It's lacking experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to get it is to get burned and get beat and all that stuff. There's a difference between good experience and bad experience as a corner.
Explain.
Like you need to make plays on the ball on certain plays, win some reps, and then if you get burned, you get burned. You go back and look at the tape and go back to it. You got to make plays though. You cannot just get burned every single play, which is kind of the progression. I think Dean and SMB are going to be a year ahead of Carlton and Whitehead because those guys spent their rookie years just getting posted.
Mm-hmm. Is that, Corey, let me ask you, is that something maybe that you sort of see with maybe like even a Ryan Smith who, remember, he gets out there and he goes in as a starter in place of, I think, VH3 for a year. Like they sat VH3 and put him in for a long time. And he just kept getting burned. Like his whole like rookie year or sophomore year just kept getting burned. Do you think that might be something that we've seen sort of develop long-term with him?
Yeah, it's a mental position, man. If you get in a rut, like you get burned a couple times, it's hard to get out of it. You have to make a play on the ball or win a couple reps and make a right read to get back into it,
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So what is your ultimate assessment right now? BA came out and said the secondary is fixed. We have been laughing at him for the last bunch of weeks until, the last couple of weeks we're like, maybe this is the group he was talking about. What's your assessment of the secondary as a whole?
4 out of the 5 starting positions are fixed, in my opinion.
Which one is not fixed?
Free safety is the one that is not fixed. Now, I don't know if it's Mike Edwards that can fill that still. I just haven't seen enough from him personally.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you bring in a veteran free safety or you draft Grant Delpit. I know Ren doesn't want to do that, but
you're the worst. Cut him off.
Stuff, but
Corey, I have control of the phone. I'm not cutting you off, buddy.
Yeah, nice knowing you, Corey. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, no, I think a veteran would be the way to go and as a free safety. But
is that Evans' role, free safety, when he's healthy?
I mean, if he ever can function again,
come back, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I would bring in a free safety, veteran guy to bring in. I don't know. Maybe Edwards can develop into that role. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's Edwards, and then if in nuts, candy, and butts, whatever, Justin Evans makes it back, and then there's this kid, I think it was out of Wisconsin, Dixon, was turning a lot of heads in training camp, and then he got injured, and the Bucs just sort of stashed him. They were like,
"Oh yeah, I loved him in college. He's instinctive player."
Yeah, they just stashed him on IR, and what was most impressive to me, the next day, he was out there and he had the coaching chart, he was following along in practice and had the oversized laminated sheet of paper sticking out of the front of his pants, and he was in it, not for nothing. Justin Evans just sitting there in his his Daisy Duke shorts and just lean up against his hand. And it couldn't be more disinterested. Now maybe it's because he was hurt, or I'm not trying to pick on Justin Evans. I'm just trying to show you the difference between where Justin Evans' head was at and this Dixon kid's head was at. So, I think it's too early to tell about Edwards. Like you said, you haven't seen him enough. I know Delpit's a good player. I don't care. We need to replace Dot. Everybody knows it. I don't, if he's listening and he says, well, he's trying to get rid of me. Yes, I am. You're welcome to stay as a backup if you want to. But there might be some moves on that offensive line. Running back's not out of the question. We were all excited about how, Ronald Jones wasn't a bust, but he's not good either. I wasn't happy with any of the running backs vision decisions, if that makes sense. Like what they were seeing, like their decisions with their cuts. Like, I mean, when it was it 3rd and 1 and Peyton Barber had to jump cut somebody in the backfield, then he had the whole sideline open, and then he dove like head first into the butt of like Dotson and came up like 6 inches short. And it's like, what do you like? I just didn't. I didn't like any of the decisions they were making for what I thought the running backs were seeing there at the offensive line. It's not that's not the outlier, you know. It's like you give them those guys the ball 30 times combined. You're lucky if they get 60 yards. So something's got to give. So not that I don't think Delpit's a good player. It's just I just don't think we should go safety because there's Dixon. There's still the possibility of Evans. Jordan Missilehead, I call him now because he flies in there and makes tackles in the backfield. And then Edwards got to develop. You got enough pieces back there where you can find somebody. You need a running back. You need defensive ends and defensive tackles, by the way, because they're all free agents, and you need a right tackle. The end.
The all 22 angle, and there's a news flash about Peyton Barber. He's just not good. Like, he's a nice guy, but he's just not good. Like,
yeah.
I was talking in the chat to the guys in there, and Kareem Hunt's the guy I want. I wanted him last year, and I want him this year. Rojo would be a perfect compliment to him.
You really want a veteran as opposed to actually maybe just trying to draft a guy, get a guy out of the draft?
Yeah, it's a great running back class, so drafting wouldn't be a bad idea. Either way, I want a guy to split carries with Rojo that's actually good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's so hard for me when people say that because like with a guy like Peyton Barber, like I don't want to say that Peyton Barber is bad because what we talk about Peyton all the time is he doesn't lose you yards. He doesn't fumble the ball.
He did today.
Oh, did he?
Like, not in terms of actual tackles for loss, but lost yards that were there.
I don't know what do you mean by that?
That he could have hit, and he's like hesitating. Well, he wasn't like last year. He was a lot more decisive.
Okay, sure. I get what you're saying, but the piece that I'm saying is just to say that he's not good, but like he gets hit. He doesn't break the tackle. He just falls forward and goes forward. But I'm with you on the idea, like he's not a dynamic running back. He's not a guy who's ever going to break off a big chunk for you. But he could be that consistent, steady Eddie. So, I totally understand what you're saying, Corey. I really, really do. So, Corey, you got anything else for you before I let you go? Kind of clear out this line, let somebody else call in.
Yeah. One last quick thing.
Sure.
When the Lions fans were acting like Bucs fans at the beginning of that game. Like when it was 21-0, they were in the dumps like we usually are. So that was kind of funny to see.
Yeah. You know what? The Lions don't have a Super Bowl. We do.
Oh yeah, no. I was in the sea of blue too, and they tried to remind me that their lives are worse than mine. So
yeah, and they got to deal with icicles on their balls. We can go to the beach tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So sorry for you, Corey. You're up in Ontario. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Get you a toque or something. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be funny. So Canadian humor.
Can never tell.
Have you ever heard of the band Three Dead Trolls in a Baggie?
No, I'm 21 years old.
How about the Arrogant Worms? All right.
Nope.
Hey, Corey, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. We're going to take this other call, okay? All right, thanks for calling in, man. You're awesome.
Thanks, Corey.
Definitely call us back. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we have here tonight?
John Riley from Newport Richey.
John from Newport Richey. What's going on, buddy?
I think I know this guy.
Nothing much. I like to win. Shaq Barry. Two guys making records. Jameis Winston. First ever NFL player to have back-to-back 450 pass yardage games. Of Shaq Barry. Tying Warren Sapp for most sacks in a season. Two records. It's been history.
I like it.
Nice,
We haven't talked about Shaq Barrett yet tonight, so yeah. I like it.
He was a little. He was. He did get a sack. Now next game or in the Falcons game, he can be the lone guy in Bucs history right now, and could maybe. And now people are saying that either him or I think Stephon Gilmore is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Yeah, well, he's in there. I mean, you can't deny it. He's leading the league in sacks, and I think he's probably, last time I checked, he was still tied for the league and forced fumbles. What else do you want from your outside linebacker?
I think he still maybe leads the league in sacks. Still, maybe. I don't know about that. I don't know if he still does, but.
Well, the guy that was closest to him got kicked out for the rest of the year because he hit somebody in the head with his own helmet.
Oh yeah, Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's there, but yeah. What else did you like?
I have a new nickname for a player on our team.
Uh-oh.
Wait, say the nickname and we'll guess.
It's Sean Murphy Bunting.
That's the great. That's the name.
What's the nickname,
that's
John?
The player.
Okay.
His new nickname is Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
He puts the games on ice.
I like it.
And this year he puts the game on ice.
And I'm guessing you're talking about Sean Murphy Bunting.
Yeah.
I like it. Mr. Freeze putting the games on ice. Is he? Wait a minute. Now, is he like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze, or is he like the actual guy from the comic books, Mr. Freeze?
Actual guy from the comic books, all Mr. Right. Freeze. He doesn't make bad puns.
I like it. All right, John. Hey, buddy, man, you got it. I'm with you. Hey, we'll do that. You got anything else for us before we let you go here, man?
Oh yeah, no. Just to let you guys know, Jameis Winston, he might be getting that contract, and guess what? It looks like he's able to do this without Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. So it's not like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin made Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston made Jameis Winston.
We'll see if it can continue.
Yeah, thanks for telling us that, John.
FYI, Rendak, you're eating crow for Cup Perryman. You're eating crow.
I am. I have changed.
I'm drinking it right now. Actually.
Yeah, I'm drinking crow. Yes.
Yeah. For those of you who are listening on the audio feed of this later, a couple weeks ago, Ren had a coffee cup. He wrote Cup Perryman on the bottom. He has that same coffee cup back. Has kind of like tried to do the way they do like a cover up of a tattoo and just
it's been rebranded.
Resign Perryman. Not resign, but resign. So, all right, John, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. We'll see if we can't get somebody else to call in before we close up shop for tonight. All right, buddy.
All right, go Bucs.
Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Thanks, John.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, we're gonna make this our final call for anybody who would like to call in or join us live in the chat. Prime did it. It was awesome. We'd love to get a second person, but it's okay. We'll take a phone call too if you guys would like to call in.
Yeah, we might have to wait till next week. We should send some tweets out about it.
Yeah, it was fun. Hey, listen,
during the week.
We tested it and it worked. That's what we wanted to know. And it didn't suck.
So I've got a new nickname too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's the nickname is Ndamukong Suh. And I'm talking about, of course, Justin Watson. So Justin Watson's new nickname is Ndamukong Suh.
Is Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah.
I like it because
have you seen that whole big girl thing that that Via Veda and Ndamukong have been doing back and forth on Instagram?
No, I saw that it's happening, but I have not seen what it is there. Like I haven't gone to check it out yet, but I saw something was happening. I don't want to go look at it.
It started a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you can.
Okay.
Because it's Instagram and I think they're gone already.
No, that's Snapchat. Instagram sticks around.
Okay.
Yeah, I do at least know that much.
Sure.
Big Girl and Fufu is apparently the name.
Yeah, Fufu started, but a couple of weeks ago, Ndamukong Suh caught Via Vea out in the hallway, like at the snack machine, and kept calling him Big Girl. And then Vea didn't like it, so he got Sue like 3 or 4 times in the next couple of weeks, calling him Big Girl. And now Ndamukong's calling him, what'd you call Fufu?
Fufu? Yeah, Fufu. Yeah, that's what I've heard. So
yeah. I don't know what it's about. It's just funny.
I like it. I like it. So, all right, Ren. Actually, I think that's going to get us for the. I think that's going to get us for tonight, man. We've had a good night. Had a good InstantCast. I said this earlier. This is probably the first InstantCast that I have been like really excited for in a very long time.
Really?
Yeah. Like I like this show. Like this is my favorite show we do of the week. I'm always excited for the show, but I was really excited to get to the show, even though I didn't win. But hey, listen, we got one more call. Let's go ahead and take this call. This will be our final call of the night. You are on the line with Brent and Ren for the InstantCast. Who do we have here tonight?
It's the infamous Brian from Memphis. How you doing, guys?
Brian from Memphis, buddy. 450 yards, 4 touchdowns. We've won 5 of the last 6 games. What you got for us, Brian from Memphis?
Hey. Look, Jameis had a good game. I think what's going on now that he got to throw his interception to have a good game. Like, if you don't throw an interception in the first drive or the first quarter, he's not going to have a good game. So,
Listen, I will take 1 or 2 interceptions every single week if he throws for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. I won't care.
Look, 2 interceptions a week is 32 interceptions on the season.
But that's also before 4 touchdowns a year is also, what is that?
4 touchdowns a game.
4 touchdowns a game. That's also what
64
a game. I'll take it. 64. Thank you, Matt. Ren. I'll take 64 touchdowns a game too, man.
Yeah. Right. But look. This is not a bashing. This is not a bad Jameis podcast or not a bashing Jameis phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis did good. Jameis did very good. I think he said he broke the record, all-time record, 450 yards, 2 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So look, check this out. This is not about Winston. Winston had a good game. We got a victory. Of course, it was against the Detroit Lions. It's also another subpar team. I want to talk about something else than Winston.
Okay.
Do it, please.
Already. All right, so look.
For the first time.
What I like is the secondary. The secondary. Like, I like Carson Davis. Like I say, Carson Davis to me is the poor man Jalen Ramsey to this team. I think Carson Davis brings the tenacity that we want in the secondary. Like, just that, like someone is going to talk his smack. He's going to hit hard. He's going to be there. He's going to give that energy. And I think that rolls out to the rest of the cornerbacks, especially Jamel Dean, because they both came from Auburn. I think Jamel Dean is a very good cornerback, even though he's like the junkyard dog. Like, his knees are not good. Like, he's always hurt. But when he's in there, he runs good. He goes good. But other than that, like, I like Shea Barrett. He's going to break. I think Shea Barrett, you give him 2 more games, he's definitely going to break one set record. So it's us for him. I think we need to have that pocketbook ready for him because he's going to be a bidding war for him. I don't believe in this taking a discount because he's going to be the premium pass rusher in the offseason if we allow him to hit the market. So
yeah, Brian, I agree with you on that. I really do. I mean, I'm glad for him to give a hometown discount. What that says to me is he wants to stay. And if the Bucs put a fair offer on the table in front of him, he'll sign it. He'll go with it. And he won't hit the market. He won't test it. They'll have this locked up before that ever becomes a thing. At least they better. But I really believe they'll have Shaq Barrett locked up well before free agent hits. He's not going to test it. They'll have Jameis Winston figured out before then. Who else do they got? JPP might hit the market. They'll probably re-sign Carl Nassib before, if I had to guess. Who else is coming up? I'm not going to go. We'll do that show later. But I'm with you. I don't care to give him a discount as much as just give him a fair offer and let him sign it and let's move on with next year.
No, I wouldn't say give him a fair offer. Give him an offer that because like you said, he came here on a 1-year offer. Like he came here to basically bet on himself. He could have went to Section 8 on a 2-year offer that gave him more money. Like, no, make it worth it. Like, he came here to prove himself, and he basically shown, like, hey, I'm one of the elite pass rushers in the game. This is not a fluke. Like, he's one of the most slipperiest pass rushers in the game. It's going to be a bidding war. Like, I think he's a good guy. I think he want to be here, but I want to chance it because it is a business. With JPP, I think you bring him back because he's such a leader. You need that leadership in the locker room just because. With Carl Nassib, I think he does hit the market. I think Carl Nassib is due for a contract, like a big of a contract that we doesn't need because at the end of the day, we got Anthony Nelson. So do you pay Carl Nassib the premium and keep Anthony Nelson on the bench? Like, is Carl Nassib someone that you want to pay that price that he's due for? Like, I love Carl, but do you really want to pay that price tag he's due for when you have someone like Anthony Nelson? Or you can bring in someone maybe even cheaper that might have a little more athleticism and a little more bite to him than Carl Nassib can bring.
Well, Ren, Carl Nassib, what did we say? He's third on the priority list.
Yeah, out of the starting five, he's third out of the four guys that need contracts.
Yeah,
but to answer your question, it all matters what Carl Nassib values at. Like, am I going to pay Carl Nassib $10 million a year? No. Will I pay him $6 million? Yeah, I will.
Right. I'll pay him $8 million, maybe. $1 million a sack. $1 million a sack. Give it that.
That's it.
That's the going rate. $1 million a sack. That's why I think Shea Barrett, and y'all had a good kind of evaluation on it. Like, give him $1 million a sack. Shaq is gonna get his money whether he get it from us or not. But with Carl, it's just, I think that's the reason why we drafted Anthony Nelson, to kind of compensate Carl Nassib leaving. But I don't think Carl Nassib is coming. Like I say, maybe third on priority list. I drop him down to fourth or fifth. Because you still need that good D line. Like, I would bring Sue back before Carl. I'll try to keep Sue before Carl. So that's how I would do.
How dare you? And once again, you've somehow offended me with your phone call, Brian.
Don't listen to him, Brian. Don't listen to him.
It's always.
All right, Brian, man, you got anything else for us before I let you go here, buddy?
All right, but one last thing, I would say, about the game, I would say, big ups to Sean Murphy Buffin on the 70-yard pick six. I think he really filled the void with VH3. I think VH3 is finally not missed at all. And I was really bad for VH3, but I think with P Show today is all right, he's the slot man. Keep him in the slot. He can do it. Keep him there, and VH3 to hell with him. And that's it. But good win. Looking forward to the Texans on Saturday. Go Bucs.
All right, go Bucs, man.
Go Bucs. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, it's man. I'm looking for. Yeah, Des, don't forget. Just a reminder: next week, Buccaneers play on Saturday, not Sunday. So you guys definitely want to make sure you check that out.
Christmas comes early.
We'll have to have a talk about what we do with the InstantCast, whether we do that on Saturday or keep it at our normal time on Sunday.
Saturday.
We'll talk about that offline.
Well, we're going Saturday.
Oh, we are we?
Yeah, we are. We'll talk about it after. After. We should go live right after on Saturday.
Yeah.
We should go live at halftime and just talk through the whole game
from the stadium. From the
sidelines.
Yes, right. Well, right next to TJ Reeves.
Right on the bench with Jameis and Ryan Griffin sitting on one side and Levante and well, I guess they both can't. Well, maybe it's a kickoff. Levante and Devin on the other side.
Right. We'll get the extra headphones and they'll come out and join us on the show live. Yeah. Coming up to you guys next week on the InstantCast.
This is Rundock's live here on the bench.
Right.
Watching the football game.
Hey, Ren, go over in the blue tent, see what's going on. So
knock.
All right. Well, hey, listen, that is this show. This show has been now run its course. But listen, I don't know what the week schedule looks like for the Buccaneers. I don't know if everything's moved up a day or
they play at home. Shouldn't affect it really at all.
Right. But are they going to practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday like they normally do? Or are they going to push that up a day? Because I don't know. So we'll figure that out, guys. Listen, we'll talk about that. But listen, coming up this week, we have the Buck in the News show. We've got what will be a final thought show, whatever we're going to call that going forward. We'll figure that out for next season. Actually, that was a conversation Ren and I are having about future stuff. Email show, our inbox. You guys email us to thepewtercast@gmail.com. If you got to call in tonight, you got more to say, or if you didn't get to call in, if you're listening to this on the podcast feed later, you want to chime in about your thoughts on the Buccaneers game this week, or really anything having to do with the Buccaneers. Go ahead and send that in. thepewtercast@gmail.com is the best way to get that over to us. Ren, any final thoughts you got on today's game? And tell us where we can get a hold of you on the internet.
A couple things. Yeah. If you're one of the people that are trying or not sure you want to watch this live, hey, come on, jump in the chat room. It's like having a whole nother conversation. You get to listen to us talk. You got to listen to fellow fans talk. And then there is always a great conversation going on over in the chat room with 3,000 of your closest friends. Okay?
It is another high water mark this week, Ren. We beat last week. Another high water mark.
Another high water mark. Another high water mark. But hey, remember in training camp when I was talking about how SMB might be the best cornerback on the team?
I don't, but okay. I'll go with
Don't you remember I was saying how social media keeps pushing this guy even above Devin White?
Yeah, well, yeah, we talked about how the Buccaneers social media team was very much trying to push Sean Murphy Bunting for sure.
Yeah. Even like above the first round pick Devin White.
Right.
And I was saying this guy might be the best, the talent, best cornerback on the team right now. And looks like it's coming true. That's all I'm saying.
This part of the season, yes. Earlier in the season, no, it did not.
Iceman / Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. I like that.
Why don't you chill?
Hey, a bunch of people, you guys get this. If you like that name, Mr. Freeze, tweet Sean Murphy Bunting, whatever his Twitter handle is. Tweet it out and see if he picks up on it. We'll see. It'll be interesting. So
and
see if we can start something.
Wheezy will get the credit.
I like it.
Oh, you made me forget. Anyway, I'll think of it later. It was hilarious, of course.
We'll talk again.
Best place to find me is on Twitter @Rendax, REN_DAXT. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football, but if you don't want to throw your opinion, your voice out there in the Twitterverse, you can just slide in my DMs and we can talk Buccaneers football there. Pew! As well too.
And if you guys want to get in touch with me, you can find me @Brent Allen Live across all the social medias. And if you want to, let's hear, what are we doing? The show, right? If you want to catch the show, you can do that at thepewtercast@gmail.com. You can find what else do we got going on?
Pull it together, Brent.
Sorry. Twitter account is @thepewtercast, facebook.com/thepewtercast as well. You can connect with us there. And the email address, once again, thepewtercast@gmail.com. Thanks to everybody who has joined us in the chat room tonight on youtube.com, and to everybody who's joining us on the podcast feed later. To all of our patrons, thank you guys as well. And until next time, guys, we'll close the show out as always. Go Bucs.